If you ever find yourself on a Caleb Hammer financial audit episode, it means things are bad. Pretty damn bad. Now, before we get started, whenever I view or enjoy any of Caleb Hammer's financial audits, it's never to just go out and judge people. That's never ever the intent, because you know what? People tell their life story, how they got to where they are, and there are so many external factors that play a part. That doesn't mitigate their personal accountability for where they are and why they are where they are. But I don't want to say let's just come out and just judge people. Everybody has a story. However, they do have to take accountability for their actions. And I will also say this, I have so much respect for anyone that chooses to pull back the veil of their own personal situation, especially knowing that it could use a lot of improvement. That takes a lot of confidence. That's a very vulnerable place to be in. And so again, I applaud and commend anyone that chooses to do that openly on the internet.
I am 28 years old. I'm based out of Austin, Texas, and this is Financial Audit. I mean, if I could scale it like 1 to 10 with no other like no positive attitude or anything, because I feel like I have a pretty positive attitude.
Just be realistic.
I'd say it's like a 4 out of 10.
Now, I have no idea how this content will go on the channel. I don't intend to react to tons of his videos, but I at least wanted to do 2. They were meant to be done in the month of March. Things got pretty busy, but there were 2 that stood out, one recently and then one specifically with a buy now, pay later in relation to a pair of sneakers. I'll get to that one. This one just involves so many different things, and I think it's really important to at least touch on those, because I imagine a lot of people are dealing with the very same issues that this young lady dealt with or is dealing with right now, trying to dig herself out of. So you guys will kind of be the judge, and trust me, feedback will let me know what you all think of the actual video itself. Also, another warning, this young lady broke down in tears, and some people think Caleb is harsh. I don't think that whatsoever. I think he just doesn't sugarcoat the dire situation that, you know, people are in financially. I think that's necessary and that's needed. And she had a trifecta of issues, from credit card debt, not managing her cash flow. She was overdrafting. She had just, again, high interest debt, the poor habits that were in place. You know what? Let's just dive into the reaction.
Only 3 of the food things that I read out were marked for the channel. So the other ones, which is bull, that you can't afford.
True.
So why are we doing that? I mean, you tried to justify saying you think it's okay. Do you think it's okay, even though you overdrafted?
I do think it's okay, but I usually don't overdraft. That's the thing. Like, I did.
I don't care if you usually don't. You did.
Do you have to eat to survive? Yes, absolutely. Do you need to order out when you're overdrafting your account? Not once, but twice. No, you don't. You remember when mom said you got McDonald's money, when she would pose that question to you? Baby, you don't have McDonald's money. You have no money, as a matter of fact, because you're overdrafted. You don't have that money. Stay at home. We got food at home. Stay at home.
So any of the like investment accounts in there is me kind of like, it was, I don't want to say the word that I'm about to say because some other guy said this and it was not good, but I was kind of like playing around with it, trying to figure out how to use it. Like, I wasn't exactly sure. I've been trying to teach myself stuff, like ever since 2018 when I saw Graham's channel for the first time. I've been trying to teach myself different things. So I have like an E-Trade account that did really well for a little bit. It's kind of like just hanging out right now. I tried to teach myself Robinhood, tried to teach myself Webull.
But why are you doing this right now when you have bad debt?
Okay, so in this part, she's playing around with trading, literally like trying to day trade or figure out the market, right? People are really just trying to beat the market when they say that. But she doesn't have any retirement savings in place at all, like not set up for it. If most people are smart enough to beat the market, they wouldn't be working for other people. They would be extremely wealthy, doing nothing or doing whatever they would like to do with their time. 99.9% of us are not that smart. We cannot beat the market. Okay, those that are beyond wealthy and the true movers and shakers on Wall Street, they're not even beating the market every single time. I understand that that's the wave that people got into, especially in 2020 and 2021, and you were following all of these people and listening to all these people on YouTube that they were going to 10x something to the moon. And how's that working out for you? You know what you can't likely do? Pick the perfect stock. You know what's more likely? No, you know what's actually going to happen? You're not going to be able to work forever, and you will need to retire. And I hope you're not only going to rely on Social Security. So focus on retirement, not just playing the market.
Why were you in it in the first place?
So I've actually had a YouTube channel since 2016, and I was convinced that I was going to be a beauty guru. So a lot of the debt that I had on that credit card was for makeup and stuff for the YouTube channel that didn't go anywhere because I did not like put effort into it. Like, I didn't.
Also, you should have cash flowed it with a job.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This one is very specific to those aspiring to be a content creator. Specifically, if you want to create content on YouTube, listen, it feels like there's a new YouTuber born every day, right? Or that enters the world of creating on YouTube every single day. And it can open some amazing doors, especially if you go full force at it to do this full time. That's not my aspiration. This is definitely a part-time creative endeavor. But no matter what, going into debt to get this, jump started, get this kick started off the ground, you're already setting yourself up for failure. There is in no way that I could at least personally justify going into debt to be able to hopefully make it on YouTube. And that's what she did. She didn't have a good financial standing, which is what she stated prior to pursuing YouTube. And she wanted to be a beauty guru, which means she's trying to buy a whole lot of product, whether it's for makeup or for hair, and that adds up. And yes, you can write that off if you're actually earning an income, but that's down the line during tax season. That has nothing to do with the here and now if you're charging that and you don't actually have money generated to pay for that, though, ahead of time. And don't think that people aren't doing that when it comes to sneakers. There are a lot of aspiring creators that are charging sneakers just because they need to be a QVC channel and show every single sneaker that comes out for views and for engagement and for reactions. Yeah, it doesn't mean that they're actually able to afford the sneaker or they're hoping to make something back. I don't know how to tell you this. A lot of people aren't making the cost of that sneaker back in a YouTube video. That takes a lot of views to get that. When you're just starting out, you're not getting that on your videos. I'm 5 years in and I don't get that on my videos. Now, hopefully you're doing much better than I am, but you're not necessarily getting that on your video. So just be smart. If you aspire to be a creator, that's great. Please don't do it with debt. Like don't start that journey with debt. Make sure that you have a plan. Make sure that you understand you will meet all of your expenses, even those you need to get this channel started off the ground without going into debt.
Yes, and it was not the best decision.
That's a lot of debt for a stupid Costco card.
Yeah.
$3,984.93. Jeez, with a minimum monthly payment of $99.
Keeps going. So it's like, I feel like I got in the habit of being able to fix it so often whenever I was younger that as I'm getting more debt, I'm just not able to fix it as quickly. Mm-hmm. And so in those moments, whenever I'm deciding, oh, I'll just fix it later, it's not as plausible. I like one of my oldest ones.
But you're holding a balance on it, unfortunately. $70 a payment on a $1,500 balance, but the balance actually went up after that $70 a payment because essentially $32 of interest on it, and then purchases of $57 on it. So we're still
wasn't there?
You wiped it off.
Okay, great.
So this is an interesting one. This is a Discover card. This looks like where a lot of the BS spending is, which I thought a lot of it was on the checking, but no, there's more. We started with $412, but you paid $322, so there's a little bit of a balance on it. But then we made $1,647 in purchases. Now, it looked like for a second, okay, maybe she comes close to paying off her balances. Does she pay off the balances? I'm not 100% sure because there's $24 of interest charged on this with, I don't even know the interest rate on here, probably close to like
they're all about the same.
So if you do the math on her credit card debt, because one of her personal loans is actually a balance transfer for a credit card, she's had like $10,000. So she's double what the average American household is in credit card debt. This is by far the worst behavioral problem. And it affects not just her, but millions of Americans that have an average of $5,000 in credit card debt. You're paying for things you can't afford. And now you're paying extra on that every single month. And it is this poor cycle. And how is it made worse? You haven't paid off this actual card with interest on it, but you're charging more things to said card. That's one of the biggest pet peeves and just behavioral actions on any of Caleb's audits that drives him crazy. Like if you can see his face turn red, he just gets so flustered. You can't operate that way. You can't have a card that you can't even pay off right now and continue to use it. That just proves you're not a credit card person. It really does.
So I don't do that now. So
what's your minimum monthly payment?
Oh, it's $412.
Yikes. Okay. What's the...
And it has... What is the thing?
What's the length? Do you know? When did you get it? And
yeah, it's 72. And I got it.
Why is everyone 72?
In card debt, this is a big problem within America. This is the American way to take on a car you can't afford. I think her car note was $412 maybe a month, and she's only bringing home $3,100 a month. So that means her note is I think the math is like 13.3% of her take-home pay. That's rather high. And Americans are doing these longer loans of 72 months. Like, that's becoming the norm at really high interest rates. It's another recipe for disaster. I get that you work hard and you want a nice car to ride around in. I don't blame you. I fully understand that. But is it worth burying yourself in a financial hole where if anything happens, you can't meet that payment? Your credit is now tanked. They could repossess the car and you still have to pay for that. It's not. And if any part of her situation resonates with you, if you can take a look at your own self and your own finances and go, you know what, I can see myself. This is like looking in a mirror. It's a wake-up call to maybe take a step back and really reassess what actions are you taking day to day to put yourself in a better financial situation. If your actions aren't putting you on a better road, do you need to change? The answer is likely yes. You may not want to change. You may not want to stop the DoorDash and the Uber Eats and buying sneakers and going out with friends, going out to eat, and maybe think of getting rid of a car may be a little difficult right now, but you may not want to think about those things, but they are real. And if it sets you up for better success financially, I would say watch some of these episodes and maybe take them to heart. So I really appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Again, first time ever doing a reaction, certainly, and it's not even sneaker related, but just wanted to get this out there. Caleb has an amazing channel. Be sure that you watch, subscribe. I really appreciate you tuning in. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.